Close your eyes for a moment and breathe slowly. Feel the air entering your body and feel it leaving. Notice that nothing in this world struggles to receive what it needs. The tree does not chase the sun. The river does not chase the ocean. Yet both receive exactly what is meant for them. In the same way, money is not something you chase with desperation. It is something that flows toward a mind that is clear, steady, and open. Today, do one simple thing: remove fear from your relationship with money. Most people say they want wealth, but inside they carry worry, doubt, and a silent belief that there is never enough. This inner tension pushes abundance away. When your heart is tight, your vision becomes narrow. You miss opportunities. You speak with hesitation. You act from survival instead of wisdom. But when your heart is calm, your mind becomes sharp. You see chances others overlook. You move with confidence. You attract trust. This is not magic as the world describes it. It is the natural law of energy and attention. Today, practice gratitude before you seek gain. Sit quietly and give thanks for what you already have: your breath, your skills, your experiences, even your challenges. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to fullness. And when you feel full inside, you no longer act from desperation. You act from purpose. People are drawn to those who are content yet committed. They trust them. They invest in them. They collaborate with them. Next, give something away. It may be your time, your knowledge, your kindness, or even a small amount of money. When you give freely, you send a message to your own mind: I have enough. This belief reshapes your actions. Generosity creates circulation, and circulation creates return. Just as stagnant water becomes impure, stagnant wealth loses its power. Flow keeps it alive. Also, clean one space in your life today: your desk, your wallet, your digital files, your room. Disorder outside reflects disorder inside. When you create order, your thoughts align. When your thoughts align, your decisions improve. And wise decisions are the true source of lasting wealth. Then take one courageous action you have been postponing. Make the call. Send the proposal. Start the project. Learn the skill. Fear delays abundance more than lack of talent ever will. Action, even small action, opens doors. And when doors open, opportunities enter quietly. Remember, money follows value. So ask yourself, how can I serve more deeply today? How can I solve a problem? How can I make someone's burden lighter? The one who focuses on service rarely remains without reward. Wealth is a reflection of usefulness multiplied by trust. Do not obsess over results. Obsession creates anxiety. Instead, focus on becoming calm, disciplined, and generous. Focus on growth. Focus on clarity. When you become the kind of person who handles resources wisely, resources naturally seek you. The world responds to your inner state. A restless mind repels stability. A peaceful mind invites it. When you release attachment and act with integrity, you create a safe space for yourself to grow and learn. Money begins to find you not because of superstition, but because you have aligned your thoughts, emotions, and actions with abundance. So today, choose gratitude over complaint. Choose generosity over fear. Choose action over delay. Choose order over chaos. Do this sincerely and you will notice something shift. Opportunities will appear. Conversations will change. Confidence will rise. And it will feel like magic. But in truth, remove fear around money, let go of scarcity thinking and inner anxiety about wealth. A calm and confident mind attracts opportunities, while fear and desperation push them away. Fear is the invisible wall that stands between you and abundance. Many people say they desire wealth, yet deep within they carry anxiety about not having enough, about losing what they have, or about never being worthy of more. This quiet fear shapes their thoughts and actions in ways they do not even notice. When fear controls your relationship with money, every decision becomes heavy. You hesitate when opportunity appears. You doubt your abilities. You cling tightly to what you have, afraid it will disappear. And in that tightness, the natural flow of growth is blocked. To remove fear around money does not mean ignoring reality or pretending challenges do not exist. It means changing the energy with which you approach them. Fear is contraction. It narrows your vision. It convinces you that resources are limited and that others must lose for you to win. But when you release fear, your mind expands. You begin to see possibilities where before you saw only obstacles. You start to recognize that value can be created, that skills can be learned, that connections can be built. Opportunity becomes visible to a relaxed and aware mind. Notice how you feel when you think about money. Does your body tense? Does your breathing become shallow? These are signs of inner resistance. Instead of pushing those feelings away, observe them calmly. Sit quietly and breathe slowly. Allow the fear to rise without judgment. When you stop fighting it, you weaken its control. Awareness dissolves anxiety. You begin to understand that money itself is neutral. It is simply a tool, a form of exchange. The fear attached to it is created by thought. When you release the belief that there is never enough, you stop acting from desperation. Desperation leads to poor decisions. It pushes people to accept unfair deals, to chase quick gains, to compare themselves constantly with others. But confidence creates patience. Patience allows wisdom. A person who is not afraid to lose can negotiate better, think clearly, and wait for the right moment. Calmness becomes a silent advantage. Trust also grows when fear fades. Others can sense when someone is anxious about money. It appears in their tone, their posture, their urgency. But when you are steady, people feel safe around you. They are more willing to collaborate, invest, and share opportunities. Your inner state communicates more loudly than your words. Removing fear is not a one-time act. It is a daily practice. Each time a worrying thought arises, replace it with a steady one. There is always a way to create value. There is always a chance to learn. There is always room to grow. Over time, this mindset becomes natural. And as your mind opens, your actions improve. You take thoughtful risks. You notice chances others overlook. You move with quiet confidence. When fear no longer controls you, money no longer feels like something to chase. It becomes something that flows toward your clarity, courage, and trust. And that shift begins within. Practice gratitude daily. Focus on what you already have instead of what is missing. Gratitude shifts your energy from lack to abundance and helps you act with clarity and purpose. After removing fear, the next truth is that gratitude opens doors. Many people search for more while ignoring what they already have. They believe abundance will come only when circumstances change, when they earn more, when conditions improve, when life becomes easier. But this mindset keeps them waiting. Gratitude shifts the focus. Instead of seeing lack, you begin to recognize value. Instead of complaining about what is missing, you appreciate what exists. Your skills, your health, your opportunities, even your challenges, each of these carries lessons and potential. Gratitude is not blind optimism. It does not mean ignoring difficulties. It means acknowledging them while still recognizing the good. A person who practices gratitude trains the mind to notice abundance. When you notice abundance, you act differently. You stop operating from a sense of deprivation. You become generous with your time and knowledge. You approach problems with curiosity instead of frustration. You see possibilities rather than limitations. This mental shift influences the way you interact with the world. People are drawn to those who are grateful. They feel valued in their presence. A grateful person listens well, speaks with kindness, and appreciates contributions. This builds trust. And trust is the foundation of opportunity. Whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, opportunities come to those who are reliable and appreciative. Consider how energy works. When you focus only on what you lack, your energy becomes heavy. That dissatisfaction influences your decisions. You may rush into choices hoping for quick relief. But when you focus on what you have and how you can build from it, your energy becomes lighter. You act with patience and purpose. You make decisions based on wisdom rather than desperation. Gratitude also protects you from comparison. In a world filled with social media and constant displays of success, it is easy to measure yourself against others. But comparison steals peace. It makes you feel behind even when you are progressing. Instead, focus on your own journey. Growth is personal. Everyone moves at their own pace. What matters is consistent improvement. When you appreciate what you have, you become open to receiving more. This is not superstition. It is psychology. A mind that feels abundant is willing to take constructive action. It sees opportunities and believes in its ability to use them. A mind that feels deprived hesitates. It doubts. And in that doubt, opportunities pass, so practice gratitude daily. It can be simple. Take a moment in the morning to acknowledge something you appreciate. It might be your health, your family, your ability to learn, or the chance to improve. This small habit changes perspective over time. It reminds you that life contains value even in difficult moments. When gratitude becomes part of your thinking, abundance feels natural. You no longer chase opportunities with anxiety. You approach them with confidence. You contribute value and value returns. This is how growth happens quietly, steadily, and authentically. It is not magic. It is the result of a mind aligned with appreciation and action. Create flow through generosity. Give your time, knowledge, kindness, or resources freely. Generosity creates circulation, and circulation invites return. Taking action is the bridge between intention and results. Many people know what they should do. They understand the steps, start the project, make the call, learn the skill, invest wisely, or improve their habits. Yet knowledge alone does not create change. Action does. The world rewards movement. Ideas remain weak until they are executed. Dreams remain distant until effort is applied. Even a small step forward has power because it breaks inertia. Inaction often comes from overthinking. The mind creates endless scenarios. What if I fail? What if others judge me? What if it is not perfect? These thoughts appear logical, but they keep you still. Perfection is a barrier. Nothing in life begins perfectly. Growth happens through mistakes, corrections, and persistence. A child does not learn to walk by waiting for certainty. They fall, they rise, they try again. Over time, movement becomes natural. Success follows the same principle. Taking action also builds confidence. When you do something, you learn. When you learn, you improve. When you improve, you trust yourself more. Confidence is not a gift given to a few, it is developed through experience. Each action, no matter how small, adds evidence that you are capable. The first attempt may be difficult. The results may be modest. But consistency creates momentum. Momentum makes progress easier. Consider money in this context. Financial growth does not usually appear suddenly. It is built through decisions, saving, investing, developing skills, offering value, and solving problems. A person who waits for perfect conditions may wait forever, but a person who begins with what they have moves forward. Over time, opportunities expand, skills compound, relationships strengthen. What once seemed impossible becomes achievable. Action also reveals lessons. When you try, you discover what works and what does not. This information is valuable. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of the process. Each setback teaches something. Perhaps you need to adjust your strategy. Perhaps you need to gain more knowledge. Perhaps timing matters. Instead of fearing failure, view it as feedback. Feedback guides improvement. Any opportunities are lost not because they were unreachable, but because they were never pursued. The world favors those who act. Employers notice initiative. Clients trust reliability. Communities respect contribution. Progress belongs to those who move, so take one courageous step today. It does not have to be dramatic. It can be small, sending a message, organizing your workspace, learning a new concept, or planning the next action. The important part is movement. Once you begin, the next step becomes clearer. Action creates clarity. Do not wait for perfect conditions. They rarely exist. Start with what you have. Improve along the way. Trust the process. Growth is built one decision at a time. And each decision shapes the future. When you act with purpose, opportunities respond. The journey may require patience, but results follow effort. Progress is the reward of those who refuse to remain still. Take courageous, aligned action. Stop postponing important steps. Make the call, start the project, learn the skill. Consistent action opens doors that hesitation keeps closed. After taking action, the next principle is order. Life often mirrors the state of our surroundings and habits. When things are chaotic, thoughts become scattered. When the environment is disorganized, focus weakens. This is not superstition, it is psychology. A cluttered space can create mental fatigue because the mind processes visual and emotional noise. When your desk is messy, your documents are scattered, or your digital files are disorganized, small tasks take longer. Frustration builds. Productivity declines. Order, on the other hand, creates clarity. When you clean a space, you signal to your mind that things are under control. This simple act reduces stress and improves concentration. It becomes easier to think and plan. You notice details. Decisions become more deliberate. Even something as small as organizing your workspace can have a meaningful impact on performance. Order also reflects discipline. People who maintain order in their environment often maintain order in their actions. They plan ahead. They prioritize. They avoid unnecessary distractions. This discipline becomes valuable in every area of life, including financial growth. Money is easier to manage when systems exist, budgets, records, and thoughtful spending. Without order, resources slip away unnoticed. Small expenses accumulate, opportunities to save or invest are missed. Order prevents these losses. Consider the relationship between physical order and emotional well-being. When your surroundings are clean, you feel calmer. There is a subtle sense of achievement. You have accomplished something, even if it was simple. This feeling encourages further productivity. It creates momentum. Momentum is powerful because it reduces resistance. Once you start improving one area, you naturally want to improve others. Order also influences relationships. Clear communication and respectful boundaries are forms of order. When expectations are understood, misunderstandings decrease. Trust increases. Whether in personal or professional settings, people appreciate reliability and structure. They want to know that agreements will be honored and responsibilities fulfilled. Order builds this confidence. Financial order is equally important. Tracking income and expenses helps you understand where money goes. It reveals patterns. Perhaps spending is higher in certain areas than expected. Perhaps savings could be increased. Awareness allows improvement. Without it, decisions are made blindly. Order turns financial management into a thoughtful process rather than a source of anxiety. Creating order does not require perfection. It begins with small steps. Clean one area. Organize one folder. Set one rule for spending. These actions may seem minor, but they accumulate. Over time, the benefits become clear. Productivity improves. Stress decreases. Progress becomes easier. Order is not about rigidity. It is about structure. A tree grows within the structure of its branches and roots. A river flows within its banks. Structure enables movement and growth. In the same way, order allows life to function smoothly. It provides a foundation for creativity and opportunity. When your environment and habits are organized, your mind becomes freer. You are not constantly searching for misplaced items or worrying about unfinished tasks. Energy can be directed toward meaningful goals. This is why order matters. It supports growth. It enhances focus. It creates space for progress. So begin today. Identify one area that needs attention. Take action, however small. Clean, organize, or simplify. The results may not appear instantly, but they will come. Order builds momentum. Momentum creates opportunity. An opportunity leads to growth. Serve and add value to others. Money follows usefulness and trust. Focus on solving problems and helping others sincerely, and financial reward naturally follows. It is simply harmony. When order and action combine, generosity becomes the next step. Many people think wealth is only about accumulation, keeping more, saving more, protecting what they have. But true abundance also involves giving. This does not mean reckless spending or charity without purpose. It means recognizing that value flows in cycles. What you give often returns in different forms: knowledge, opportunities, relationships, or financial growth. Generosity is not limited to money. It includes time, attention, and skills. Teaching someone a useful lesson, helping a colleague solve a problem, or offering encouragement can create impact. These actions build goodwill. People remember those who help them. Trust develops. And trust is one of the strongest foundations for opportunity. When you give, you also change your mindset. Instead of focusing solely on what you need, you consider what you can contribute. This shift reduces scarcity thinking. Scarcity tells you that resources are limited and must be guarded. Generosity teaches that resources expand when used wisely. A farmer who shares seeds helps others grow crops, but the act of sharing does not reduce the ability to plant more. Similarly, knowledge and kindness multiply when shared. Generosity also builds character. It requires humility and awareness. You give not to receive immediate reward, but because it is meaningful. Over time, this habit shapes how you interact with the world. You become known as someone reliable and helpful. People seek your presence and advice. Opportunities arise because others want to work with individuals who add value. Financial generosity must be balanced with responsibility. Giving should never create hardship. Instead, it should reflect wisdom. Even small contributions matter. A modest donation, a supportive gesture, or an investment in learning can create long-term benefits. The goal is not to give beyond your capacity, but to give with intention. Generosity also creates emotional well-being. Helping others produces a sense of fulfillment. Studies and human experience show that acts of kindness release positive emotions. When you contribute to someone's success or comfort, you experience satisfaction. This emotional reward encourages further positive behavior. It becomes a cycle. Giving leads to fulfillment, and fulfillment inspires more giving. In the context of money, generosity influences perception. People are more likely to support those who are fair and considerate. Businesses that treat customers well often gain loyalty. Professionals who share knowledge build networks. Wealth is not only about earning, it is about relationships and reputation. However, generosity should never be confused with exploitation. Giving to those who refuse responsibility or repeatedly take advantage is not wise. Boundaries are important. True generosity helps others grow, not become dependent. It encourages self-reliance and improvement. When practiced with wisdom, generosity completes the cycle of abundance. You act with gratitude, take meaningful action, maintain order, and contribute value. Each step builds on the previous one. Life becomes less about constant pursuit and more about balanced growth. Money and opportunity flow naturally because you align with principles of value and integrity. So consider what you can give today. It may be a kind word, a helpful suggestion, or a gesture of support. Do it without expectation. The impact may be greater than you realize. Generosity plants seeds, and in time those seeds grow into opportunities and connections. This is how abundance works, not through force but through contribution and trust.